Welcome to Corinne's Picks, a show that looks at remarkable works of art and the careers of prominent artists. My name is Corinne Basabe, and I'm your host. Today, we're fortunate to have a remarkable artist. I'm so glad that Mr. James Washington Ward was willing to come to our show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me on.
I'm so glad to have you here in the flesh. I've seen your work on Instagram.
Thank you.
Love your work, a big fan. And hopefully we can dive in and really explore some of your thinking and some of your decision making in capturing those images, because you're it's an amazing photographer.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit, before we see the works, tell us a little bit about your artistic journey. What brought you to photography?
I've always been inspired by photography. Wouldn't be able to tell you any names, but when I was a teenager, my foster father was a army photographer, and he gave me a camera, and just wouldn't put it down and kept taking pictures and then life hits. You grow up, camera actually falls down a few times, and it gets put to the side. And then I was in school, and I needed a course to relax my brain, and was excited to show that the school I was going to at the time was hosting a photography course. So that's when I picked the camera right back up, and then got to know the history behind photography and got into photography studies, and just became inspired all over again.
It's really interesting. I know that, the images we're going to look at tonight are more, fine art. But I also know that, I know you from being available to do headshots for actors and people in entertainment. And I also know that you're able to take, photos of artists' works. I know artists always need to have their work
Right.
photographed. Just as an aside, but what is the most challenging thing to you, as being a creator of photography?
When it comes to New York, parking. I say that jokingly just because I drive almost everywhere I go. So, and creation and inspiration is around every corner. So you can be driving down, a street one way, and you can just see it, and that's the shot. And then by the time you gotta turn the block a few times, or trying to find in. Once you actually get parking, then it's actually trying to find the shot. So part of the hardest part sometimes is actually keeping equipment in the car regularly, so you're not lugging it up and down the stairs. And New York is a great place, but sometimes, we do have scoundrels.
And in general, what is your work about? What are you trying to convey with your art? Like, what is your message to your viewing public through your art?
I just want people to know that there's beauty in everything, especially in my hometown, New York City. We get a bad rep no matter what borough you're looking at. Is always, New York is so dirty, New York is dirty. And even when you go back to the arts and they talk about arts in public, they only talk about, graffiti on trains and the wall murals, and normally that's followed up with a classic picture of the Bronx, the burned down Bronx, with so many buildings were missing and everything else. And part of my photography is showing people that my city, no matter where you go, in all 5 boroughs, is beautiful. There's art in everywhere. There's artists everywhere, and I also want to use my name to give a name to some of the unknown photographers out there, some of the unknown sketch artists out there, and sculptors and people that don't get the recognition.
So you're saying a lot about you're giving people almost imagery in their imagination. But let's look at the first slide just so that they could see what you're talking about. This is actually my favorite. I think this is such a deep image. So can you unpack this and tell us a little bit about what your thinking was and the composition?
Um, I had just came across the RFK Bridge in the Queens, and stuck in traffic, stuck at a light, and there's horns everywhere, honking, people walking, and then I just see this gentleman and his dog, and in the busy chaos of traffic and everybody running by, he's in another world. Like reading just took him somewhere else. His dog is just chill. And there's humanity to me at one of its finest points is no matter what station of life you're in, you can never stop learning. You can never stop pushing forward. And, I wouldn't be able to tell you if this guy was homeless, if he was a construction worker, or, whatever have you, if he was just somebody that just didn't believe in clean clothes and decided to take his dog for a walk and have all the essentials with him. But it just speaks to me like, throughout all the chaos, you can take a minute for yourself. Take a minute to get away, close the world out, and just enjoy it.
That is such a powerful image, and it could say a lot on so many different levels, and really, without having to even get on a soapbox or say anything political, it kind of speaks for itself,
Right.
and gives a lot of humanity to that man. So
Absolutely.
let's look at another image. Tell us a little bit about how you composed this image. What were some of the decisions you had to make?
This is one of my funner group shots. It's a whole series of pictures. I called it the Mobster series, and deep down it's about love intertwined and how we really don't communicate and know who we really love or who we're trying to love. And it goes, clashes back to the Roaring Twenties, to the madam in the middle who runs the nightclub, and then you have the two detectives. It just so happens, to be a breakdown of what I think the Roaring Twenties would have looked like for minorities, where the black, Asians, and Hispanics only party together because we weren't accepted by the white crowd at that time. And it's just, just the love affair that nobody speaks about, and it's not love as in romantic love, but love as in the different cultures actually coming together to be one.
I actually really appreciate the elegance of the subjects, because I feel that it's not necessarily hip to be an elegant man, and I just love seeing these three men well dressed.
Oh, they're actually one man and two ladies. So,
Well, but still, it's people, it's not a crime to be refined.
oh yeah, no, it's just
You know,
these models were great. I love them dearly. They actually became good friends of mine after a while, and they were great. I couldn't ask for a better set of
I mean,
models
I
for
would
that.
love to have more role models like this for young people.
Oh, yeah.
As part of pop culture.
Oh, definitely. And you mentioned pop culture; they all happen to be dancers too.
Oh, that's really interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's look at another image. This one is very sweet, because I'm an avid animal lover. I love cats and dogs.
Oh man,
This is a beautiful puppy.
this was actually my puppy.
That's your dog.
Diamond Girl. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's a sweet, sweet puppy.
And this picture came because I actually got a new camera and a new dog. So, she was tired, and I'm still playing with the new camera, and I'm like, strike a pose. And then she just
And she
laid
did
down
it.
just
And
like
she,
that.
And she did it.
So, yeah.
Is it a beagle? What is she?
She was a pit mix, a pit
Oh, she's a
and shepherd
mixture.
mix.
Oh, shepherd.
Yeah, weird.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. What do you think? How would you like to challenge yourself artistically? Like, where are you going with your photography?
Uh, I would go wherever it takes me, and whichever opportunities that I get to do it. I would love to, helicopter ride. One of my bucket lists is to actually go on safari out in Africa and shoot wildlife. Um, that's one of my bucket lists. Like I have to do that before anything else. But I want to be featured in at least the National Geographics at least
Who are
once.
some of your heroes or people who are inspiring you in terms of photography?
As in, right now, I can tell you Peter Hurley. He's one of them. He's a headshot photographer. Um, there's another photographer. I forgot his last name, but Manny, and he's just like this general photographer turned into YouTuber, and him and his wife shoot some amazing shots. And he also goes in to teaching and helping in his YouTube channel. So, this is an amazing shot. Let me show you how I got this. And then he'll go and describe everything he did to get that shot and so forth. So those are the majors. I really don't watch too many YouTubes. I'll scroll through social media, Pinterest, things like that. And I like, because that's what I feel the real raw talent is. It's great, and then it's a great accolade to be, published. And, like I said, I personally want to be in a National Geographic book one day. But I love people like myself who are known but not known, and to see what they come up with, and, to see people with limited resources and the things that their imagination could come up with is wonderful. You give anybody $1,000, $1 million budget and a decent
So,
camera.
on that note, we have to go to a commercial. So we're going to have a short commercial, and then we'll be back talking about National Geographic
Graphics.
and your dreams.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Corinne's Picks. We've been talking to this fabulous photographer, Mr. James Washington Ward, and we were talking about some of his, I guess, aims for his photography in the future. But I want to show some more images. We have a lot of images to show, so we're going to go a little bit faster.
Sure.
And so, you just, as it flashes on the screen, just tell us a little bit about the art.
That's a mural, actually, on, I believe it's in Brooklyn. I just saw it on the side of a building, and it just represents the beauty of New York. It, the little slashes under her eyes, the little bit of struggle and pain that you go through, but you can still stand out and be beautiful at the same time.
Okay. Okay, so what about this image? What about this image made you want to take a picture of it?
Just the way the way when I saw it, it just looks beautiful to me. It just reaches out to me, it calls to me. Um, the red lips and the way the hair was, and just the representation of the word New York City in itself. This was a very, very good put together piece of work.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It actually has what they would call flavor,
Yeah.
like New York City kind of swag. Okay, let's see the next image.
Oh man, this is just one of those days. I happened to have my camera on driving home from work, and it was raining, and I just felt like before the windshield wipers go, that picture just fit the mood. It was just like a cold, damp, rainy day and hard day at work, and you look at that picture and all you really want to do is curl in your bed and just go to sleep.
That would be true. But I also like this painting because sometimes there's a blurry line between photography and paintings. And this almost feels to me like, atmospheric painting or abstract painting.
Right.
It's something about the shapes and the colors. It's very painterly. This would be my second favorite image of yours. Okay, the next image.
Ah, yes, the new Mario Cuomo Bridge. Uh, it just looked beautiful lit up, and I happened to be driving around. I believe it's Rockland County on the other side of the bridge, and it just looked beautiful. And I was like, you know what, I gotta take this picture.
But I love this. I love the stark contrast of colors, black against the white. But I also like the symmetry of those lines and angles. It's very geometrical. It's just a beautiful, beautiful photography,
Photograph.
photograph. Yeah. Next image, please.
This was taken in Orlando, actually, and I was working down there, and when I exited the store, that's what I exited to see. Like, I didn't notice it coming in, but when I was leaving, I just looked straight down, and for whatever reason, it felt like that road and palm trees just went on forever. And so I wanted to just capture that feeling of almost like walking in paradise forever.
Yeah, I do get that feeling too. I mean, it makes me really you kind of it makes your mind wonder about what's ahead. What's ahead in life or whatever. Okay, next image.
This was taken in Brooklyn, of the skyline, and the way the clouds just rolled in, and the way the sun was hitting Lower Manhattan, I couldn't pass up that. And the water, where the docks used to be, it just, I literally wanted to put this on a postcard and send it to somebody.
It's true. What would you say is the mood of this image?
To me, it's defiant because you can see the rain clouds coming in,
Wow.
but the sun is still shining strong. It's like, I'm not letting you go. You can come in, you can rain on me all you
Wow.
want, but I'm holding up right here.
Love it, love it. Okay, let's see another image.
Yes, this is also Lower Manhattan going into Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Bridge, and I believe that's one is the Brooklyn, and I think the other is, what is that bridge? The Manhattan Bridge, I want to say. But yeah, it's just, there's a special spot right in between both of them where it's real hard to capture that, both bridges at the same time.
I noticed you're taking a lot of images dead on. Are there ever times where you manipulate the colors or what people see, like you create the image?
Uh,
or illusion of an image?
I have, and I would say they're probably not my favorites
Oh, okay.
because they look great, they look good. I'm not going to sit there and say that it was done bad, but it's just, I believe your photographs should capture the actual beauty that you see. Which is, I'm not a Photoshop photographer, and not to say that that's anything wrong, but I let people know that you are who you are and you're beautiful who you are, and I shouldn't have to manipulate a picture.
No, I didn't mean digitally. I meant actually with shadows and lighting, like the three models you had
Right.
that were posing. Like, you had to construct that?
Right. It's all with lighting, and where you position your lights, the way the lights are, and how you position your subject, and then you gotta find the right angle.
How often do you do that in terms of trying to make art with the light and camera
Every shot.
angles and all that? Okay.
Every shot is, you see the beauty of it, and then you always go, but what can I do better?
So, and when it's in studio, you're more likely to actually create that image.
In
But when
studio.
you're when you're outside, you just take nature as it is.
You take nature as it is and
Okay.
see what angle can make it that much better.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
you have your natural lights, your natural things, and yes, this looks good right here, but what if I turned it a 45
Oh, that's
degree
really
angle
interesting.
and then looked at it from this way?
It's really
And
interesting.
then maybe if I don't go in as close, or maybe if I pull back and get a wider view, what else am I capturing at this 45 degree angle that I'm not seeing at this dead on angle? So there's a lot that goes into it. You always got to try to push your brain one extra step.
Fantastic. Okay, can we see some more images? Thank you.
This is in Tennessee, and just stumbled upon these. I think they call them the Twin Falls, and I just happened to stumble upon them in one of my ride-arounds, just driving, looking at the sights, and it's gorgeous down there. Absolutely gorgeous.
Indeed, it is. It's so beautiful. Okay, next image.
This is on one of my road trips. Just the clouds in itself. And, this is one of those things where I could have taken the picture a little bit closer just to capture the clouds. But I feel like without the trees in the midst, you wouldn't get the full effect of the clouds. And then, I did shoot a little darker, so I pulled back my dial and my ISO a little, so it just brought the clouds to life a little bit more than actually the gray sky that you would have seen.
This is
in there.
another example of when I kind of feel like there's a closeness between the photograph and something that's very painterly, because I really enjoy this image as if it was a painting.
Right.
Because you can look at just the subtlety between where the different shades of color meet.
Mm-hmm.
The placement of lighting. Even like the black shapes of the trees on the bottom of the photograph.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely wonderful. And we have one more painting. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a Freudian slip there. One more photograph.
And this is New York City from Jersey. And this was taken on the 4th of July, right before the fireworks. That's why you see so many boats in the harbor. But this is my Gotham City, and this is what this image calls for.
Look at the
It's
lighting
just-
above the buildings.
Yeah. This is just a gorgeous shot, and I had to take it. It took me actually 10 shots to get this one, because every time I shot it, I just didn't. I wasn't capturing what I was seeing and what I was feeling, so I just kept shooting and shooting until I actually got what I wanted. So,
Okay, so that's the last image. I know that you said that you're working through your church with, I think, people who are re-entering society from the prison system. Am I
yeah,
correct?
my church has a program that helps with females that are re-entering from.
And I know that also you work with young people a lot, and I think of the way you describe your techniques and your thinking in composing these shots. I'm thinking like it would be really life-changing to put a camera in some of these young women's hands and have them have to see the world differently. Because
Right.
there's decisions that they would have to make,
Right.
And it would make them pay attention. They would have to have a different set of eyes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a little thing I do with the kids, teenagers that have been known for bad behaviors, and I call it stop. And I go, what did you get in trouble for? Now walk me every step of the way until you actually made the action that got you in trouble. But when you're about to make that action, say stop. And believe it or not, when they take that and they carry it on in the real life, and they're outside and they're arguing, have people come up, hey, Mr. Ward or Mr. James, you won't believe it. I got into an argument. I was really about to knock this kid's head off, and then all of a sudden you came in my head and it was like, stop. And I walked away. And if you can get your mental capacity to sit there and know what you're going to do is about to be bad and you're about to get in trouble, and you can just stop it just by saying the word stop, then you can take that and carry on. So it's, my photography, again, 15 pictures, it's click, I don't like that. What am I doing wrong? Okay, I set this up. All right, stop. What does it look like? Take it. And then you go through the process. So this way, you start having self-control over what you do, and then you can, all right, now it's time to use your words. You stop the action.
That's such a brilliant way of teaching children. I am so glad that you were willing to come to the show. It's a great honor for me.
Appreciate you having me on there.
Love your art, and hopefully you'll come back again. Thank you for being
Anytime
on the
you
show.
want me on, let me know. I got plenty of pictures.
Part 2.
We'll do a whole graffiti set.
Okay, thank you.